Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Former President Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo has commended President Bongbong Marcos's first 100 days as president. Arroyo, who is now a senior deputy speaker, said that the president was able to assemble an impressive economic team. The Pampanga representative added that Marcos Jr. was able to project himself as a calm and thoughtful leader. The chief executive is set to mark his 100th day in power on October 8 after clinching a runaway victory in the May polls. And President Marcos has assured the public that adapting to climate change is still one of his administration's top priorities. At the Energy Department's Multi-Stakeholder Forum, President Marcos highlighted the need for everyone's cooperation to protect the environment. The president hopes that the forum will generate fruitful discussions that will harmonize the policies of the Environmental Department. The Philippines recently ranked first among global disaster risk hotspots, according to one German study.
I know it's only a beginning of a challenging but most important task of protecting the only earth and home that we know. As your president, I assure you that our environment and our country's resiliency and adaptation to the new normals of climate change are on top of the national agenda.
And some workers are up in arms over the construction of the Metro Manila subway, as it has forced some establishments to close down temporarily. Mobile journalist Pamela Vasquez with the report.
Due to the construction of the Metro Manila subway, parts of Meralco Avenue here in Pasig City is now closed. But aside from causing heavy traffic, the subway's construction also means that the decade-old Metrowalk building needs to be demolished. This did not sit well with some employees of establishments in Metrowalk. 23-year-old Kim could not help but feel bad about the pending demolition of the building. Kim explained he has just started working at a Korean restaurant in Metrowalk, and now he has to look for another job.
No choice naman kung magstay kami dito, ano naman gagawin namin, di ba?
Alfred, who has been working at Metrowalk for about 7 years, said he's in favor of the construction of the subway. But he admits the demolition of the building is a big loss for them all.
Malaking epekto yan sa amin dahil nga mawawalan na kami ng trabaho. Ito lang yung inaasahan naming trabaho para makalutas sa pang-araw-araw. Wala na kaming magagawa.
The Meralco Avenue underground station of the Metro Manila subway is estimated to be about 1 hectare long. That's why the northbound and southbound lanes of Meralco Avenue from Capitol Commons to Shaw Boulevard will remain closed for 6 years to give way to its construction. Authorities say that once the project is complete, all commercial establishments affected by the construction will be allowed to return. Mobile journalist Pamela Vasquez, we are One News.
We will be back with more stories after this quick break. Keep it here on One News. experts are saying that China has become more inward-looking and conservative after 1 decade under the leadership of Xi Jinping. Let's find out more from this Bloomberg report.
I think China will continue this momentum to grow.
I think we're actually kind of sort of like go back to the Cultural Revolution kind of era.
When Xi Jinping came to power a decade ago, he inherited a China that was rising economically and diplomatically. But under his watch, it's become less open and more conservative. I traveled to Chongqing, a major landmark in Xi's rise to power, to see how the city and its people have changed in the past decade, and to find out what it can tell us about China's next 10 years. This municipality is the size of Austria, and the place where Xi ousted his main leadership rival, Bo Xilai. Today, Chongqing has undergone a population and construction boom that some say masks a backsliding in freedoms. Others, like 33-year-old education entrepreneur Huang Yi, see it differently.
I definitely feel China is becoming stronger. I feel I'm getting more attention in the peer group, and our living environment becomes more international and convenient.
Huang Yi's former employer, New Oriental, fired 60,000 staff in the wake of Xi's crackdown on private tutoring, all in the name of common prosperity.
It is their responsibility to make the decision for the business, for the industry, for the public. And I think it's necessary for them to have this regulation policies if they think they are right for the public.
This Instagrammable bookstore has a shrine-like display of books dedicated to Xi, while English language shelves at most bookshops in China have been shrinking. Xi has been reshaping the country's education system, putting greater emphasis on patriotic study and downplaying the importance of foreign languages. 32-year-old Yang, who studied abroad, asked for his identity not to be revealed.
I heard from the news, especially from the Western news, that our president doesn't really want us young kids to learn English anymore because they don't really want you to have like this language tool to get to know, what the outside world was like.
The changes are part of a series of education-related moves aimed at ensuring future generations remain loyal to the party, which celebrated its 100th anniversary in July 2021.
I think my experience of studying abroad exposed me to this new way of critical thinking or maybe creative thinking. Hanging out with my peers and whenever we encounter like something like political issues, of course, they disagree with me.
The Communist Party was weakened by decades of corruption and decentralization during the boom years. Since then, Xi's campaign to claw back control has made him China's most powerful man since Mao Zedong. But it's come at the expense of social and economic freedoms. And China's Great Firewall, which blocks foreign ideas from the internet, has been bolstered by the physical closing of borders during the pandemic.
This zero COVID policy or something like that, how can you battle a virus? You're going to have to live with it.
The impact of this is being seen on the economy. Lockdowns mean China is unlikely to meet its already watered-down goal of 5.5% growth this year. Youth unemployment reached almost 20% in July, and the property sector faces some of its most serious challenges yet.
After the Cultural Revolution, people are like being, I would say, brainwashed to be like super competitive. Everything is aiming for fame, money, and property and everything. Like we kind of lost that really, really good Chinese characters.
Of course, I hope my business goes well. I hope there would be policies which would benefit my business, but I would respect the government's decision.
Xi has sought to narrow the nation's wealth gap in his bid to build a prosperous and strong society. And while COVID-0 may be weighing on the economy for now, it's also kept the debt toll far below that seen elsewhere.
And one Balut vendor from Valenzuela decided to design his own car from recyclable materials. Mobile journalist Diana Pascual tells us more.
Amid the COVID-19 lockdowns, many individuals were forced to find ways to keep themselves busy. While some decided to start a new hobby, one Balut vendor invented what he calls the drum car. This is a vehicle made from various scrap materials.
Habang nakaupo lang po ako sa harapan ng pinto namin, bigla nila sumagi na gawin ko pa kayong may pakinabang ng makina ng motor ko. Kung paano ko pa siyang gagamitin. Hanggang sa naisip ko nga, gumawa kaya ako ng sasakyan na kakakaiba.
This is a drum car to sell his balut. He has already traveled to Metro Manila, Pampanga, and Bulacan using the car. And not once has he been questioned about using it. In fact, those that noticed the drum car wanted to take a picture with it instead. Along with this, Roland is also accepting orders for those who want their own drum car. The price though will depend on the design. Mobile journalist Diana Pascual. We are One News.
And for more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News Live anytime, anywhere. I am Sean Yao. We are One News.